on track in what was just the most sensational end to a season that you could possibly imagine in motorcycle racing. It was just incredible from start to finish, wasn't it?
Halo guys,
It was. Kano was.
kembali lagi kita
He
di
had a bit of a poor start compared to what people
kameranya
expected,
belum pas.
but soon bounced back. Very unlucky with the technical issues and technical
Oke,
disqualification.
kini kita kembali di
Effectively cost him the
FIM
title.
ya, di
P5 on the
Moto3
grid on
Junior
debut, a very solid
sebutannya.
effort.
Of course, he won't be necessarily
Jadi
very
dari
happy
sini
with that, given
akan
just how
melihat si
competitive a rider
Ramadhipa.
he is. He's looking up and he's seeing his
Cukup
ETC
keren
rival
helmnya.
on pole position. Now we are looking at Kano's teammate here is Yaroslav Kabushin, the Kyrgyzstani rider, also with a phenomenal P6.
Jadi fenomenal nih, keren,
underway
keren.
here in Barcelona, and he's another rider who's
Hari
been
ini tuh
very,
ada
very
dua,
impressive during his
ada
time in this
dua
paddock.
di
He has
jam.
been very impressive in this paddock, as you say, and also
nanti gitu ya,
he's doing
Nanti kita
Red
lihat
Bull
ya,
rookies
kalau
this year, I
keduanya
believe,
kita
and
live
doing very well there.
langsung
Six on
atau
debut, again, another rider
timing
coming from
kayak
what was the
direkam
European
juga
Talent
lagi.
Cup, impressing straight away in the Moto3 Junior World Championship.
Yeah, a lot of these ETC riders are really filling that gap left by the riders who left this paddock to move on to the World Championship. There is still the old guard, of course, though, Giulio Pugliese here. That's CF Moto Aspar Junior Machine, a fantastic rider. Really one to watch as things get underway here in Montmello.
The Italian is definitely one to watch. A best grid position for him secured yesterday with P7. His best is P5 at Estoril last year. A good chance to potentially beat that this time around.
Yeah, absolutely, a very good chance, and judging by that in Estoril, he's one who gets off the mark very quickly as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see what he's capable of showing us here in this opening race. We've got 14 laps to enjoy, of course, and here we have the Venezuelan Martinez, who is another rider who's been really impressive over the course of his time in this paddock. We've seen him in so many races, really pushing elbows out. He's that kind of rider, really aggressive, sometimes maybe pushing a bit too far, I think it's fair to say.
He can be very aggressive, yes, but he is a joy to watch as we continue our progress through the grid.
Here we are then with KETEGANGAN, the Thai rider, who is starting from P9. He's another really impressive young talent coming from that part of the world, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic to see what he's capable of delivering here in Barcelona.
Another personal best for Singapore, P9, previously was 12. His best race finish is P14, so again, another good chance to take a first top 10.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the amount of times that you're telling me it's a personal best for these riders, it's really showing that the gap left by the riders who have moved on is being filled, and filled very, very impressively. Now we've got Mononyani from South Africa. He's going to be starting from P10. It's going to be absolutely fascinating to see what he's going to be showing us here on track today as well.
It is, yeah. I could just repeat the same line,
Please.
if I'm honest.
Everyone wants to hear that it's a personal best for these riders, because that shows what we're going to be able to enjoy here.
Well, it is a personal best for Mononyani. First top 10 of his in the Moto3 Junior World Championship.
Yeah, magnificent. And those fans watching on there are going to be able to enjoy that. Here we are with Enzo Bellon, the CIP Green Power Junior Team Machine, as we prepare for our opening race of the day.
Yep, the Frenchman with, again, personal best, P11. it will keep going. Everyone's improving. That's what's happening. People that are staying on for another season in this class have improved massively, and the newcomers are also very quick.
Oke, kita akan nonton nih seru-seruan ya guys. Oke, dari pertama nomor 1, 2 dan 3 Ramadhipa. Oke, keren ya. Jadi kita nonton bareng lagi nih.
Performing very well. Giulio Pugliese goes from P7 with
Welcome teman-teman.
Singapore on row 3. Mononyani, Bellon and Abruzzo make up your 4th row. Travis Borg, Nicholas,
dari Malaysia ini ada
Nicholas and
Christian Daniel
go from row 5 with Christian Daniel Jr., David Gonzalez and David Gonzalez P16 to P18. Benyat Fernandez P19 ahead of Sullivan
guys, sebentar lagi kita warning up.
Remy San Juan and Gonzalo Perez follow. Pablo Oliveira, Edo Gutierrez, Thibaut Varga, Philip Soriak, Henry Migno, Matteo Gabellini and Levi.
Tahun depan seru kayaknya. Ada KETEGANGAN sama Ramadhipa masuk tahun depan di Moto3.
As we prepare for the warm-up lap in Moto Junior.
Oke, sudah warming up.
Fernando Barroso, who was so impressive yesterday, as they get to grips, if you'll pardon the pun, on this circuit. As they go down, we do have a problem already.
That's Benyat Fernandez, I believe. You can see he's in his World Sport Bike leathers, so obviously a late call up for this weekend, but yeah, a problem for Fernandez.
Yeah, that'll be tremendously frustrating for him to have what is a call-up. He was replacing, is it Evan Belford?
No, it was, when I find him on my spreadsheet, Alex Longarello, who has a collarbone injury.
Yeah, he'll be tremendously frustrated with the way that beginning has gone, but we are here on the warm-up lap ahead of the first race of the Moto3 Junior World Championship.
Yep, obviously the last chance just to see how the track feels in the temperatures. Obviously the temperatures are just rising and rising at the moment. It's already very warm outside. It's going to get even hotter by the middle of the day. So 24 degrees air temperature, 25 degrees track temperature. Probably feels a bit low, but maybe the centre is in the shade, which would give that reading because it is very hot out there.
Yeah, it's very hot right now, but we know that it does take a bit of time for the heat to get into the asphalt here in Catalonia, but as you can see there, it's blue skies, it's a glorious day, a wonderful day to go racing as well.
Looks like Fernandez is ready to take the start from the pit lane. Obviously, that will have issues for him throughout the race, but it's good that it looks like he will be able to take to the race.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting to find out exactly what happened there as the riders approach the end of Sector 4 here. I mean, who knows what could happen at this turn number 14 over the course of these 14 laps here in Barcelona.
No, we've seen races decided in many classes across the final turn and on the run to the line, and it's the Moto3 Junior World Championship, so it will be the same today.
Absolutely, Ari. There are so many incredible spots where riders can make a move here in Barcelona. It's going to be very interesting to see who can get away well as well from the start and get that real approach towards turns 1 and 2, where again so much can happen.
It's a really long run down to turn 1 as well.
Kayaknya helmnya Ramadhipa tuh warna kuning ya, stabilo kayaknya. Tapi kita lihat dari dekat bentar ya.
Yeah, absolutely. Barroso will be looking to get away well from pole position. Zani from P2. Ramadhipa.
Nah, Ramadhipa ya warna ada enak-enak dipantau. Ada kuning-kuningnya, kuning pink.
There are the red lights. The reps are rising. And we are away in 2026. Barroso gets away incredibly well as well from pole position as we speed down the start straight. Is Barroso who's leading? Is he going to be challenged? Is still Barroso who's ahead going into turn 1? Can anyone get on the inside? Not quite. As we approach turn 2, Barroso is leading as we move into sector 2.
Barroso
dalam Ramadhipa dapat. Jadi gampang lihatnya karena helmnya beda ya. Jadi helmnya warna stabilo.
Yeah, this long right hander now as we approach turn 4 and then turn 5. Who's going to get everything right as we go through this first lap? It's not the time to be taking any risks just yet, but this is, as we mentioned, Moto Junior and anything can happen. It is still Barroso who leads.
7, iya benar 7.
Barroso still leading it, as you say, heading into turn 5. A tricky corner, downhill braking. We see that is Christian Daniel Jr. has just left the pit. So I think there were yellow flags waving in the background at the start. So I wonder if that was for the American.
Yeah, as we go into sector 3 now. On our first lap in Moto3 Junior, it's still Barroso who's showing real composure. Carlos Cano has moved up to P3, showing just what he's about. He's going to be trying to do everything he can to get that opening win here in Barcelona. Fantastic start though for Barroso.
Yeah, Karpushin had made a good start initially, but he's now down into P7 on the number 17 machine, so he'll have a bit of work to do. I'd say Barroso still leading from Leonardo Zini and Carlos Cano running in the podium places on the opening lap of the race, we must stress.
Yeah, Carlos Cano then and his teammate Giulio Pugliese riding very close together for the time being. Ketsek Singapong there as well, down in P13 for the time being, as we now are on the start-finish straight.
Bisa dikejar.
Go the
Mantap,
two
Ramadhipa.
boys trying to move ahead.
Aduh, green
It
screen.
is Carlos Cano who appears to have taken the lead going into turn 1. both Aspar riders are now leading this race after a phenomenal move on the start-finish straight, and we have lost number 21.
As Eric Micklyon has just brought his bike into the pits. The run into turn 1 is crucial. Like, we saw them going 4 wide heading into the braking zone. It's always important to make sure you're able to hold a tight line if you're making the move, but also you can defend around the outside because it'll give you the inside line for turn 2.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be so important to maintain that. And I think we're going to be seeing very similar moves throughout the course of not just this race, but every race over the course of the day as well. But Kano has done exactly what he intended to do there. He was probably biding his time. He's probably been planning that from the start of the day. He knew exactly what he was going to do. Carlos Kano now has the opportunity to try and create a bit of a gap between himself and his teammate Giulio Pugliese, and more importantly, his long-standing rival, Fernando Bujosa.
Bujosa just made the move into turn 7. It's not really the case we see overtaking even in a class like this, but he made it work, and he makes the move into turn 10 as well, up the inside to claim P1 back from his long-term rival.
Yeah, what have we been saying over the course of this transmission so far? Bujosa and Kano, we could not wait to see that rivalry renewed, and they've renewed it on turn 1. It's absolutely incredible.
As soon as the season started, they were renewing that rivalry. As we head down the final 2 corners, again, it's Bujosa leading, Kano just behind, but the slipstream will be crucial on this run to start lap 3.
Yeah, for the time being, they're still very much packed together here. There's no leading group that's particularly clear. Kano just trying to rocket ahead there, and he does make the move on the inside. We're still on the run now to turn 1 here. It is Kano for the time being, but now Giulio Pugliese appears to have taken the lead. Is he going to take the lead into turn 1? He is. He's only going to be able to strike back at turn 2.
It doesn't look like it. So it's Pugliese who takes P1 from Kano, but Kano in a good position still to take the fight, as Travis Borg sets the fastest lap of the race, a 1 minute 47.9.
Yeah, absolutely incredible from Travis Borg. I mean, we've been so focused on the rivalry at the front. Travis Borg has been getting the job done, moving up through the pack, and is now in P5. As you mentioned, Giulio Pugliese has now taken the lead as well from Carlos Kano, his teammate in that Aspar.
Just a note on Borg, he was the only rider in the 1 minute 47 last lap, so he's just been quietly getting on, but putting in incredibly fast laps as he's moved up the grid, now in P5.
Yeah, absolutely incredible stuff from Travis Borg. Leonardo Zanni now moving up into P3, just overtaking Fernando Bujosa there.
Yep, Zanni making the move. Bujosa very close behind turn 10, and Zanni's actually just got ahead of Kano as well for P2, but turn 10, heavy braking zone, it will all change coming into this corner.
I'll hold you to that. Let's see what happens going into turn 10. It is the hairpin, it is Pugliese who's still leading. On the outside goes Bujosa. He's not able to really make his move there.
Travis Borg was slightly offline through 10, but he's now going around the outside through 11 and 12 to try and make the move stick, and it looks like he has moved up into P4. That's an incredible move from the number 23.
Absolutely incredible. Look at that. So many fastest laps there. It's Travis Borg in the 147 still, currently the only rider in the 147s, and he's got substantially faster than some of the riders around him. So let's see if he can maintain this momentum and just keep pushing. Travis Borg, what are you going to be able to do here on this slipstream?
On the run into turn 1 then, he's on the ideal race line alongside Bujosa. Can the number 69 defend? It looks like no. Borg's got the inside into turn 2.
Yeah, absolutely incredible stuff from Borg on the inside there. It is Pugliese who's currently still leading as we go into sector 2. This is such an incredible battle, but he goes wide there and somehow still manages to stay ahead. Absolutely incredible stuff.
Yeah, that's impressive from the number 41, just to keep that lead despite being slightly offline. He's running lines wider than anyone else, but he seems to be making it work. He'll have the inside into turn 5, but he's under pressure here from the number 24.
Yeah, Guillaume Planck is there with an attempt on the inside there. Excellent stuff from the Frenchman, and we're seeing really these Moto 3 junior riders go to battle straight away, especially these two, Fernando Bujosa and Carlos Kano, giving it time and time again. They're side by side now, and it is Bujosa who gets ahead of his ETC rival, moves into P2.
A great move from Bujosa. We've seen him make a couple of moves, and he was last year while in what was then the European Talent Cup. On the run into turn 10, it's Kano, looks on the inside, but doesn't make the move stick. And there's 3 riders behind heading into that heavy braking zone, but everyone coming through okay.
Masuk 5, Ramadhipa.
Such a difficult turn to master there. For the time being, our rider's doing incredibly well, managing to maintain that grip. They're going to have to be looking after those tyres as well, though. But Pugliese still just ahead of the riders around him.
Yep, and there's a move into the final corner there. That is Cano being demoted by Leonardo Abruzzo for P4. The Italian making a stunning move. Usually the best way to make that move is the last lap, but well, you know, it's a great move to make anyway.
Absolutely, it's best to get as much practice as possible. I mean, we see so much swapping and switching over the course of these Moto3 Junior races.
Turun lagi Ramadhipa.
There is Buhosa still in
Kalah di
the
track
lead.
lurus, guys.
Cano was under pressure, or pressuring Abruzzo once again through turns 1, 2 and 3. It looks like Cano has come out in the provisional podium spots, and a tighter line through turn 4 again. Can he get alongside Pugliese? No, Pugliese is able to defend that position for now.
Yeah, it's a sweeping right-hander there, and it is Pugliese who takes the lead from Buhosa. Absolutely incredible stuff from the Italian.
Yeah,
He's going to be able to keep it for long. It doesn't look likely. Buhosa
Udah
hits straight back into turn 5. What a place to make a move as well.
Turn 5 is, as I said earlier, a very tricky corner, but you
Oh,
can
maksudnya
overtake
10
that
lap
if you
lagi
take
terakhir.
tight inside
Sorry,
line.
sorry.
But forget about what I said about defending. He was on the attack when I mentioned the defence.
There we are then. That right-hander approaching turn 9 now. Cano looking on, just trying to assess when to make his move. His team watching on as well. They've got 2 riders to be watching out for here. They don't want to get too close too early on. And it is Abruzzo as well who tries to make another move on the inside, but he's unable to really get the right line.
There's a move coming in at turn 11. That looks like Planquez moving up into the podium positions ahead of Abruzzo, or for P4 perhaps. Sorry, my apologies there.
Yeah, it is an attempt there as we watch on as Buhosa, Pugliese and Cano lead this Moto3 Junior race.
Masih ketat, keren.
It's been an
Seru, guys.
incredible opening 4 or 5 laps so far. We've got 9 laps to go as we start this lap. Buhosa leading on the run into turn 1, the number 69. Well, he's already lost that P1 actually. Pugliese and Cano both coming through on the number 69 to move into first and second. And Abruzzo making a move for P4 once again.
Yeah, making a move for P4 on the inside, unable to really get ahead of Buhosa there. It is Pugliese who's currently leading. He's under pressure from Carlos Cano, his teammate now, who's on the inside and makes the move at turn 3 and takes the lead. And it's now Pugliese in P2 and Buhosa in P3.
We've seen Cano and Pugliese take very different lines through turns 3 and 4 for the last few laps, but Pugliese was able to hold on. This time Cano was even tighter and was able to make the move stick.
Yeah, let's see what happens to turn 5 here. And it is Buhosa who makes the move on Pugliese there to take P2. We saw just briefly the Aspar team watching on, absolutely gripped to their screen, as you might well be, as we are, and as I'm sure you are as well.
As we said, it's been an incredible race so far. Just to note, Travis Borg obviously made a lot of progress in the first couple of laps. Now down in P7, still in the lead group. He's not far off the lead, less than a second away from Cano out in front, but not making the progress that we saw in the first couple of laps.
Yeah, we also saw Zani just overtaking Karpushin there, but just briefly on Borg, I mean, it would have been difficult for him to maintain that speed when everyone else is also really trying to push as well. So maybe it was a bit of an error to push too early from Travis Borg. We'll wait and see.
Perhaps. He's still in the mix, so it's not like it's going to be too detrimental. It's just maybe now he's pushed, wants to just bring it back a bit, stay in the mix, and then push again at the end when more riders push.
Absolutely, as we return to the start-finish straight, who's going to be able to take the slipstream advantage here? It is currently Cano who leads as we head towards turn 1. Pugliese takes a different line, he goes wide. Is he going to be able to make something happen here?
Pugliese, the only one taking a more normal racing line, let's say. Cano taking P2.
Absolutely incredible there from Pugliese. Cano in P2, as you just mentioned there. Pugliese leading now after an incredible move on the start-finish straight. But as we've seen before, turn 3, Carlos Cano returns to the front of this leading pack.
It's the same move he made a lap ago, a tighter line through the long corner, and Pugliese slightly wider, and that enables the number 73 to take P1. But, I mean, there's still 8 laps to go, and everything's... Oh, there's a crash there.
We have a crash. It's one of the Aspar riders.
Ramadhipa kah?
Ramadhipa, I think, potentially.
Ramadhipa jatuh, guys.
Looks like both riders are more frustrated than anything else, but we've got the yellow flag out there in Sector 2.
It looks like, sorry, just dropping down the time machines is
Oh,
Carpuchin
bukan,
and
bukan.
Travis Bourne.
Bukan, masih ada
Bourne is
Ramadhipa.
frustrated,
Yeah.
really frustrated. He was putting in an incredible ride, was the number 23.
Yeah, that's... You can see why that kind of provokes this reaction from both of these riders.
Yeah, and
They look to be in a bit of pain there as well. So there's concern.
so it was on the exit of turn 4. We don't really see what happened. But yeah, obviously coming together perhaps just on the exit where you're trying to get across to the right-hand side of the track for the left-hander at turn 5.
Yeah.
Perhaps, I mean, we haven't seen exactly what happened.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get any other images of that.
Hampir.
As we
Aku
return
pas ngeliat
to
helmnya,
the race
nggak ada
and to the start-finish straight.
stabilo.
Once again, what we've seen
Hampir guys.
so
Untung
much
nggak
action
kena.
over the course of this race so far. And again, it is Pugliese with that outside line. This time around, it's Zanni, though, who managed to take the lead on the inside. Excellent work. Zanni just really premeditating what Pugliese was going to do there and has actually managed to make it stick as we go into turn 3. So he's done exactly what Pugliese was unable to do so in previous laps.
Yeah, Zanni with an incredible move, just taking the inside line to defend position, but also giving him the inside for braking under turn 1. We're just coming right through turn 4 now. There are still
Ramadhipa
yellow flags
turunnya jauh
out at turn
lagi.
5 on our timing screen. We see the riders in the background there walking away, so there will be no overtaking there. And I believe the yellow flags will be out here as well, so we shouldn't see any moves. But from this point, we should start seeing overtaking.
Yeah.
Just
Let's move into sector 3. We're going to see racing resume, I think we can say.
yeah, just a slow motion shot under braking into turn 1, and then as Zanni takes the lead through turn 2. But yeah, incredible shot though of the moves being made.
Absolutely incredible work from our camera operators. As we return to this lead group and turn 10, another overtaking hotspot. We're seeing an attempt on the outside there. Just not quite enough, and it is still Leonardo Zanni who's leading, and he's got a bit more of a gap than we've become accustomed to seeing so far as we go into turn 13.
It does look like he has pushed on a little bit. The group has sort of splintered now. We did have 8 or 9 riders within a second a couple of laps ago. It's now just, well, in fact, it's just 3 across the line as Zanni pulls the pin and looks to pull a gap. But Pugliese will take the slipstream heading into turn 1, and Cano obviously has a double slipstream.
Yeah, and Bohosa has actually dropped down to P5 as well there. Pugliese is leading now. Zanni dropping in right behind. Is he going to try and make a move on the inside? No, not for the time being. He's happy to just
Oke, Ramadhipa masuk
wait.
lagi guys. Aman.
bide his time and make his move maybe
We're
going
just
into sector 2.
We're just seeing that the incident involving Carpuchin and Borg will be investigated by the stewards after the race. We see Zanni taking the inside line. He's copying Cano's move through turn 3. Pugliese able to defend briefly, but not under braking at turn 4. Zanni takes P1.
Zanni leading now ahead of the Aspar riders, Pugliese and Cano. Try and make a move here, going into turn 5, not quite close enough, and it is still Leonardo Zanni who's leading.
Zanni is still leading ahead of his compatriot. We have now got the yellow flags in at turn 4, so if anyone does want to make a move there, obviously not on this lap because they've gone past it, but in the following laps, all under green flag conditions now.
As we go through turn 9 now, onto this shorter straight, approaching turn 10, another excellent spot to make a move. Is anyone going to try and go for it? Well, just behind there, we're seeing Guillaume Planques making a move on Fernando Bohosa and managing to get ahead. Bohosa strikes back straight away.
Bohosa was able to hold a tighter line through the second part of turn 10, but that did give him the outside through turn 11, and that means that he has been demoted again by Planques.
Yeah, Plank, absolutely incredible stuff, managing to both defend and attack, showing us exactly what he's made of there. As again, we return to what is becoming absolutely crucial in this race. The start-finish straight and the slipstream here in Catalonia.
Again, just across the line, 3 riders within half a second, but then there's
Whoa,
another half
bisa
second
dikejar.
for Plank just behind. So it looks like the top 3 are trying to break away as Cano makes, for Pugliese makes a move for the lead. And there are big battles just behind, trying to see who is making the move side by side into turn 3, I believe that was, as David Gonzalez brings his bike into the pits.
Yeah,
Bisa
we're
5 lap
trying to
lagi.
make a move, and here we back out with this incredible racing. 3 bikes side by side here. And it is Leonardo Zanni who moves ahead, but not for long as Carlos Cano takes the lead. Absolutely sensational stuff from the young Spaniard.
Cano proving why he has moved up to this class after obviously the title in 24 and the almost title defense in 25. Straight away on the pace, his racecraft incredible as he looks to go with Zanni to pull a gap over Pugliese. They've got a little bit of one, but it won't be enough to keep the number 31 at bay for now.
Yeah, just over 0.2 of a second between the top two and Pugliese there for the time being. But there's just nothing separating these riders. And there we are seeing the gap. It's about 0.4 between the leading three and Guillaume Planck.
Planck still is within a chance of victory, because if these guys battle each other, which they're going to, he can close that gap if he's able to keep Barbosa behind. If they can follow him, this lead group of three will become 5, 6, 7 riders very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even just using our eyes, we can see that that gap is becoming bigger, it's becoming smaller, it's varying a lot, it's oscillating, and the battle between the leading three is going to be playing right into the hands of this second group, Planks, Barbosa and Ramadhipa.
Yeah, just coming on to the final straight then as we cross the line for 4 laps to go. And it is 2 tenths separating the top three across the line, with Planck 3 tenths behind Pugliese. We just look to see Pugliese, I think that is taking his usual racing line. But Cano and Zanni alongside each other under braking. Who's going to come out on top? We wait to see, and Zanni moves into P2.
And Ramadhipa there has overtaken Barbosa on the straight as well, taking
Kelima
full advantage of
Ramadhipa
the
lagi yo,
slipstream.
bisa yo.
And yeah, it is Pugliese now who is leading from Zanni and Cano. Everything can change in such a short amount of time in this class. And there goes Pugliese again on Zanni. Carlos Cano still behind. And here we see Planck as well, trying to make a move on the inside of Cano. He's not able to make it stick as we approach turn 5. But these riders, that gap has disappeared between the leaders.
That gap has disappeared. It looks like Pugliese on the inside doesn't make the move. There's Planck going up for P3 on Cano at turn 5. That's a big high side.
Yeah, Barbosa there from pole position, and now with 4 laps to go, his race has come to an end with that high side. Oh.
It's good to see him walking away after that, because that was a big moment he had on as he was applying the throttle, and a huge high side for the Spanish rider.
A huge high side, he's walking away. His pride is going to be hit there because he'd been doing so well over the course of this race. He'd taken pole position, and now that is
Ramadhipa bisa masuk lagi.
Cano and into P4. Absolutely phenomenal stuff from Ramadhipa there.
Yeah, Ramadhipa putting in another sensational performance, as he did last year when he was in the European
Masuk di 4 besar dia, guys.
A replay of Barbosa's crash, I believe, and he just puts, starts to lose the rear and then goes over the top of his machine. But good to see that he was able to walk away from that.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see whether he's able to get a bike ready for race 2 in Moto3 Junior as well, which will be coming up in just a few hours as we return to leading pack to the start-finish straight, and 2 different lines adopted by Zanni and Pugliese. Planck as well now in P3. It is Pugliese who takes the lead going into turns 1 and 2.
Lap lagi, bisa guys.
On these opening corners of the lap, he's not quite close enough.
Not close enough yet, but Zanni was taking a slightly wider entry into turn 3, which could open up the corner for him heading into turn 4. It doesn't look like he's going to make the move before the braking zone, but if he can get alongside, he's going to dive for the move. He dives for the lead.
He dived for it there. Leonardo Zanni. A dive bomb, absolutely incredible stuff to take the lead, to seize it rather, and Planck's looking to do the same, and he moves into P2 ahead of Pugliese.
Some great racing here with just 3 laps to go. Now is the time to get the elbows out. It's a lead group of 5. Ramadhipa and Cano are still in contention.
Ayo, bisa di-steal nih.
It looks like Zanni has pulled out a bit of a gap over Planck, his teammate. Can he hold that on the run into turn 10?
Yeah, absolutely incredible stuff. As we run down to turn 10, it's going to be so interesting to see what happens at the hairpin. But currently it is a moment. 1-2 here in the opening race in Moto3 Junior World Championship. It's been taken swiftly away by Pugliese, and Ramadhipa now moves into a podium position.
A great move from Ramadhipa as he takes P3, but can he hold that? He's got Pugliese just ahead. It's an important run through the final 2 corners. It looks like he'll
Ramadhipa masuk 3 besar nih.
Get the slipstream on the run to the straight. As Zanni also has a bit of a gap. He just might be able to defend if he gets a good exit out of turn 14.
Yeah, he might be able to defend it, but it's easier said than done as we approach the start-finish straight. There we are. A message for Cano, just 0.7 seconds of a gap. He's still very much in this. Is Carlos Cano. He has been relegated to P5 for the time being. He's still got a fairly significant gap behind him. As Ramadhipa moves into P2,
mantap.
still leading
Kedua.
in P1. And there goes Carlos Cano into P4, ahead of Blanc.
2 laps to go, and now our 5 riders across the line, separated by half a second.
I think we're in for another very, very close finish here in Catalonia. And there goes Pugliese.
Another wide line for the number 31. Does it leave him vulnerable into turn 4? No, he's able to hold position. Zanni now running in P3 ahead of Carlos Cano.
Absolutely incredible racing from this leading group of 5. As we go into turn 5, everyone just taking that with a little bit of
dua lagi, guys.
Ramadhipa looking back there just to see where everyone else is. And maybe he shouldn't have done, because Leonardo Zanni has moved up on the inside and into P2.
Turn 7 is a move we've seen a couple of riders make, but it's not, as we said earlier, not the most usual overtaking opportunity. But Zanni taking full advantage of being quite close to Ramadhipa to move into P2. And now he'll have the run on Pugliese into turn 10.
Let's see if he's able to make his move here going into turn 10. We've seen these moves made before. And it's Ramadhipa who does it on the inside. Absolutely incredible stuff from Ramadhipa. He's not able to make it stick, or is he? I spoke too soon. It is Ramadhipa as we go through sector 4, who's still leading. What a move there from Chiandra Ramadhipa, who leads from Pugliese and Zanni.
A great move from Ramadhipa, as you say, taking it into line. He was able to hold it through the second part of the long left-hander to keep the lead. He's slightly wider on entry through turn 14, but that looks to have given him a bit of a gap on the run into turn 1.
Yeah, but this is the very last time that we're going to be seeing these races trying to take advantage of the slipstream as we go down the start finish straight and approach turns 1 and 2, where we've seen so many moves. Pugliese taking the line, we've seen him take so many times before. Zanni on the inside, is he close enough? He's close enough to move into P2 and turn 1. Ramadhipa now relegated into P3, Carlos Cano in P4, and at the back
let's lap, guys.
What Carmentines has actually quietly and impressively latched onto the back of this group. He is just half a second or so behind Pugliese in the lead on the last lap, and with the slipstreams you'll get on the run into turn 10 and on the run to line, he could be in a good position to make some late progress.
Yeah, absolutely. He's absolutely managed to swell himself to the back of this leading group, slowly but surely, and it's still Pugliese from Zanni for the time being, but that could change at any point. We've not seen another move there at turn 5. Where is the move gonna come? It's Pugliese who's leading as we go into sector 3 here in Barcelona. Carlos Cano into P3 there.
Pugliese was defensive into turn 5, but it didn't cost him on the run through turn 6 and into turn 7. But Zanni is all over the back of him, heading on the exit of turn 9 and on the run into turn 10.
Yeah, this run-in is going to be so important. We've seen so many moves here over the course of this race going down into turn 10. Zanni on the inside. Blanc as well, but just not quite close enough. But Zanni does manage to take the lead, seizes it from Giulio Pugliese. Is he going to be able to hold it throughout this sector 4, and especially on these right-handers? We're going through turn 13 now. We've got just one turn to go. Leonardo Zanni takes the lead for the time being, but that could change. Pugliese not quite close enough. It is Zanni who is leading as we approach the finish line. Zanni is currently ahead, but that could change. That was so close. It is Leonardo Zanni from Pugliese and Carlos Cano who manages to take P3.
Kelima Ramadhipa.
There's just 0.006 seconds between Pugliese and Zanni. What a finish here to get this season underway in the FIM Moto3 Junior World Championship. Well, the Aspar team are happy, but the Momova team will be even more so. Leonardo Zanni with the win, and in such impeccable style.
An incredible race from Zanni.